Cable gland testing as per IEC 62444. In this video, you will learn how to perform 3 tests on cable glands as defined in BS 6121. These tests are the cable retention test, the cable anchorage test, resistance to impact test, and resistance to excess torque test. Before we start, let us understand why these tests matter. Cable glands face vibration, impact, corrosion, and mechanical stress throughout their service life. These tests show how the gland performs under these conditions. They confirm that the gland keeps a proper seal, holds the cable firmly, and resists damage or deterioration. Note: always use the proper fixtures, torque tools, and protective equipment during testing. Let's start with cable retention test. This test checks how well your cable gland can hold the cable when it is pulled. It verifies that your gland can grip the cable firmly and prevent it from slipping out under mechanical load. Step 1. Assemble the gland with a test mandrel or a section of the actual cable. Step 2. Tighten the gland to the torque specified by the manufacturer. The cable end should be fixed securely while allowing the test equipment to apply force along the cable axis. Step 3. Measure the displacement on the cable before the test. As you can see, our pre-test displacement is 50.4 millimeters. Step 4. Assemble the gland on the test equipment. Apply a tensile load to the cable as specified for the gland size, typically between 5 and 17 newtons. Our gland's cable diameter falls between 31 and 43 millimeters. As per the standard, its cable retention load is 45 newtons, that is 4.5 kilograms. Step 5. Assemble the mounting clamp on the cable and mount the required load. Step 6. Maintain the load for 5 minutes without jerks or shocks. This simulates the pulling force that may occur during installation or service. Step 7. Remove the load and the cable from the test equipment and check the displacement after the test. As you can see, the displacement here is 50.6 millimeters. The gland passes the test if the movement does not exceed 3 millimeters. The cable and gland components must remain undamaged, and the sealing elements should not shift or loosen. As you can see, the axis cable gland has successfully passed the cable retention test. It maintained firm grip and sealing, confirming its ability to resist tension without any slippage. Next, cable anchorage test. This test checks how firmly your cable gland holds the cable when it is pulled repeatedly. Step 1. Assemble the gland on a test mandrel that simulates the cable. Step 2. Tighten the gland to the manufacturer's specified torque. Step 3. Apply the tensile load as specified in the standard for the required cable size. As our gland's cable diameter falls between 31 and 43 millimeters, its tensile load as per the standard is 350 newtons, which is 35 kilograms. Step 4. For tracking slippage, mark the mandrel at the edge of the cable gland. Step 5. Let the test machine pull the cable forward and backward 50 times. This simulates the movement and stress a cable experiences in service. Step 6. Unload the force from the test mandrel and check the slippage. The gland passes the test if the displacement does not exceed 2 millimeters. As you can see, the axis gland did not slip and has met the required standard. This means the axis glands will hold the cable securely under repeated movement and mechanical stress. Now, resistance to impact test. This test checks how well your cable gland can withstand mechanical impact, especially in cold conditions. Step 1. Mount the gland assembly on a metal plate or test fixture. Step 2. Condition the sample at the declared operating temperature, typically -20 degrees Celsius, for at least 8 hours before testing. This simulates field conditions in cold environments. Step 3. using an impact testing apparatus with a 25mm hemispherical striker. Release the striker from the defined height to deliver the required impact energy as per the gland size and category. Step 4. After the impact, check the gland. The gland passes the test if there are no visible cracks, fractures, or separations that could affect its performance. The gland passes the test if it remains free from visible damage. As you can see, the axis cable gland remains intact with no visible damage, confirming that it can safely withstand mechanical impact even under low temperature conditions. Lastly, resistance to excess torque test as per BS 6121-1:2005. Step 1. Preparing the sample. Assemble the armored gland on a section of cable that has the largest armor thickness within its size range. Tighten it as per the manufacturer's standard installation torque. Step 2. Applying excess torque. Once assembled, apply 1.5 times the specified installation torque to the gland using a calibrated torque wrench. In this case, rated tightening torque is 18 Newton meters. Hence, we applied 27 Newton meters torque as excess torque. This simulates the accidental over-tightening that may occur during installation in the field. After applying excess torque, carefully inspect the gland for any visible signs of damage such as cracking, thread stripping, or deformation. The gland passes the test if no visible damage is observed. As you can see, the axis armored cable gland has successfully passed the resistance to excess torque test. It remained mechanically sound even when tightened beyond its standard torque, confirming its robust design and reliability under real-world installation conditions. I hope you now have a clear understanding of how to test your cable glands as per IEC 62444. This test is performed at our Axiom Lab in Mumbai, which is accredited by the National Accreditation Board for Testing and Calibration Laboratories (NABL) for ISO 17025-2017 and approved by Underwriters Laboratory UL. Before you move on to another video, remember that even the best tests can't compensate for inadequate installation. Watch this video to learn about the correct installation procedures, cable glands.